There's something almost magical about picking up a handful of rich dark soil and feeling its perfect crumbly texture between your fingers, that earthy smell, that deep chocolate color, that sense that this soil is absolutely alive. Well, that's humus, my friends, and it's the absolute foundation of everything we're trying to accomplish here at the Soil House. Today we're diving deep into what makes humus the true black gold of gardening and how you can build it in your own garden beds. Let's clear up some confusion right away, because I've noticed a lot of gardeners use compost and humus interchangeably, and they're actually quite different. Compost is what you get after a few months of decomposition. It's fantastic stuff, don't get me wrong, but humus is the final act in nature's decomposition symphony. It's what remains after organic matter has been completely broken down by soil organisms over months or even years. Think of humus as the stable end product, the ultimate form of decomposed organic matter that can persist in your soil for decades or even centuries. It's a complex mixture of organic compounds that won't break down any further, and that stability is exactly what makes it so valuable. While compost continues to decompose and release nutrients relatively quickly, humus acts as a long-term nutrient bank and soil conditioner that keeps on giving season after season. What makes humus truly remarkable is its molecular structure. It's composed of complex carbon compounds that create this incredible sponge-like material with an enormous surface area. This structure is why humus can hold onto water and nutrients so effectively, while also providing the perfect environment for beneficial soil organisms to thrive. I'm going to be straight with you. After years of building soil in multiple garden beds, I've learned that humus content is the single most reliable predictor of how well your garden will perform. Here's why this dark, spongy material is absolutely non-negotiable for serious gardeners. First, let's talk water retention. In our increasingly unpredictable climate, where we might face both drought periods and heavy downpours within the same growing season, humus acts like a moisture buffer. It can hold up to 90% of its weight in water, which means your plants have access to hydration even when rain is scarce. But unlike clay that holds water too tightly, humus releases moisture to plant roots as they need it. During those unexpected dry spells, gardens rich in humus keep producing while others start showing stress. The nutrient-holding capacity of humus is equally impressive. Those complex organic molecules we talked about, they're negatively charged, which means they attract and hold on to positively charged nutrients like calcium, magnesium, and potassium. This is called cation exchange capacity, and it's basically your soil's ability to prevent nutrients from washing away while keeping them available for your plants. Without adequate humus, you're essentially pouring nutrients into a leaky bucket. But here's what really gets me excited about humus. It's alive. Well, technically it's not alive itself, but it's teeming with microbial life. Every gram of humus-rich soil contains billions of bacteria, millions of fungi, and countless other microorganisms. These aren't just passive residents, they're actively breaking down nutrients into forms your plants can use, producing growth hormones, protecting against diseases, and creating that beautiful soil structure we're all chasing. Now for the part where I need you to adjust your expectations a bit. Building genuine humus isn't a quick process, and anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something, but I promise you, the investment is worth every single season it takes. The foundation of humus building is consistent organic matter addition. I'm talking about adding compost, aged manure, leaf mold, grass clippings, and other organic materials to your beds regularly, not just once, but season after season, year after year. Here's my approach. I add a 2 to 3 inch layer of compost to all my beds twice a year, once in early spring and again in fall. Some of this material will break down quickly and feed your current crops, but a portion will continue breaking down into stable humus. The importance of lignin-rich materials and leaf mold. The type of organic matter you use makes a difference too. Materials high in lignin like wood chips, straw, and fall leaves tend to form more stable humus than softer, nitrogen-rich materials like grass clippings or food scraps. This is why I'm such a huge advocate for leaf mold. Those autumn leaves that many people bag up and throw away, they're humus gold. Collect them, pile them up, keep them moist, and let them decompose for a year or two. The resulting leaf mold is incredibly rich in stable, humus compounds. Don't underestimate the power of cover crops in this process either. I plant cover crops like winter rye, hairy vetch, or crimson clover whenever a bed isn't in production. When you terminate these crops and let them decompose in place, you're not just adding organic matter to the surface. Those extensive root systems are feeding soil organisms deep in the profile and leaving behind channels that improve drainage and aeration. As those roots decompose, they contribute significantly to humus formation. Here's something that took me a few seasons to really understand. You can add all the organic matter in the world, but if conditions aren't right for decomposition, you won't build humus efficiently. The key is creating an environment where soil organisms can do their work. Moisture is critical. Your soil biology needs water to function, but not so much that oxygen is excluded. I aim for soil that feels like a wrung-out sponge, damp enough that organisms can move and function, but not waterlogged. This usually means maintaining consistent moisture through mulching and regular watering during dry periods, but also ensuring good drainage so water doesn't pool. Temperature matters too, though there's less you can control here. Decomposition slows dramatically when soil temperatures drop below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is why I focus my heavy organic matter additions in fall and spring when soil biology is most active. That said, even winter decomposition contributes to humus formation, it just happens more slowly. The soil food web is absolutely essential to humus formation. This is why I never use synthetic fertilizers or broad-spectrum pesticides in my gardens. These inputs might give you short-term results, but they disrupt the complex microbial communities that create and maintain humus. So, instead, I feed the soil organisms with organic matter and let them feed my plants. I also add compost tea or worm casting tea a few times per season to boost beneficial microbial populations. After a few growing seasons of consistent soil building, you'll start to see real changes. Humus-rich soil has a distinctive dark color, that deep, rich brown to black that makes your heart sing. But color alone isn't enough. The texture is equally telling. Healthy, humus-rich soil forms soft aggregates that crumble easily when you squeeze them. It never forms hard clods or turns to dust. The smell test never fails either. Good soil smells earthy and alive, never sour or putrid. If your soil has that forest floor smell, you're on the right track. You should also notice that your soil drains well after heavy rain but doesn't dry out too quickly. And here's the real test. When you work beds rich in humus, your plants simply perform better. They establish faster, show better stress tolerance, and produce more abundantly. Building humus is the most important investment you can make in your garden's future. It's not flashy, it's not instant, and it requires patience and consistency. But, I've seen struggling gardens transform into productive paradise simply by committing to this process. Every handful of compost you add, every cover crop you plant, every leaf you allow to decompose in place, it all contributes to building that black gold standard. So, here's the thing. It's time for a call to action. Start today. Wherever you are in your gardening journey, add organic matter consistently, protect your soil biology, and trust the process. Your future self will thank you when you're pulling massive harvests from soil that practically grows plants by itself. If you found this helpful, subscribe to the Soil House for more deep dives into building truly healthy, living soil. And please, share this with a fellow gardener who's ready to transform their beds from the ground up. Together, we're building better gardens, one handful of humus at a time.